channel. If you guys are new, my name is Marcella.
And I'm Jose, and today we're changing it up a bit. We're coming at you guys different with a story time, but not no regular story time.
Our first story time.
This is our first, no, our first story time was our 1 year.
Oh,
our first ever video that we have up on this channel, that was our first story time.
that was a long time ago.
So today's story time, we're gonna talk about my personal ghost experiences. So throughout many years, I've had a lot of, I'll start off with my dreams, just to give you guys a gist of what goes on in my life. Almost regularly, I have a dream where I wake up in the dream and I'm just fighting a demon. Like, I'm talking about like the ugliest demons you can think of, and they're either attacking my family, attacking a friend, and then I'm fighting back, and I like never back down from them. And like in my dreams, I'm like if you ever watch The Exorcist and like you see like the priest or the pastors or whatever just like blurting out stuff with the demon like in different languages, well, that's basically what I do in my dreams, except when I wake up I have no idea what I said. And even during my dreams, like my mouth will be moving by itself and I'll have no idea what's going on. I always end up winning those dreams, thankfully. Haven't lost one yet, so I think that's a good sign. Today we have a couple ghost stories that have happened in this house. I have a lot more, but those will be for a second video. So for this video, we'll do the ones that that took place in this house,
which is his house. And obviously I haven't, well, not obviously, but I luckily haven't experienced anything that he has, and I hope to never.
Well, I mean, she has in like the slightest form. Don't expect me to be like possessed by demons in these stories, you know. Nothing crazy, but crazy enough. Listen up, grab some popcorn, grab a drink, and if you love ghost stories, well, I got a couple good ones for you.
So guys, I'm gonna be behind the scenes. I'm gonna be the cameraman, camera woman, and Jose is gonna be the
storyteller. I'm your host,
the protagonist.
Jose, and welcome to Paranormal Experiences. So first, we're gonna start off nice and sweet. We're gonna start off with
nice and simple.
Sweet.
You
nice
mean?
And simple. I mean, it's not sweet. So right here, right in this corner of my house. This is my living room, by the way. In this corner of the house, this is where we usually keep our Christmas trees.
Christmas tree.
Our Christmas tree. Sorry.
How many trees do you have?
More than one. That's where we usually keep our Christmas tree. And then one night I come. Where was my room at the time?
Upstairs, no? Oh no, right here.
My room was down here at the time.
Down the hall to the right.
Down the hall to the right. So I come down. I don't turn the lights on. I just have my flashlight on my phone. The lights are off, and I'm eating something, and then I decide to look up. And then when I look up, literally the tree, like one of the branches, just shakes, and the ball just rolls off and just starts rolling towards me. And at that point, I'm just like I just got goosebumps. Like at that point, I'm just like did I really just witness that? Like it wasn't even like I wasn't even like this. Like I was literally like this, and it just fell down and it just started rolling. But like I'm a very I have a lot of faith, so at that point I was just like, all right, don't pay it too much mind. I prayed a bit and I just walked past it, picked it up, put it back on, and I walk up. No, and then I go back to my room. And then my sister texts me like 10 minutes later, and then she's like, what are you doing downstairs in the living room? And I'm like, nothing, I'm in bed. Why? My mom's knocked out by this time, by the way, so it definitely wasn't her. And then she's like, I hear a whole Christmas party going on downstairs in the living room. And at that point, I'm like, okay, that's really creepy. I'm like, no. So then at that point, I just go upstairs and I tell her, I'm like, that's creepy because like 15 minutes ago, I went to go get a drink and I didn't turn any of the lights on. And one of the Christmas tree balls just fell and started rolling towards me. And then she's like, yeah, I started hearing music downstairs and a lot of people talking. And mind you, it's only me, my sister, and my mom. Well, at that time, it was only me, my sister, and my mom living here. So like, that's not enough for a party. I mean, we can get lit, but... That's not enough for a big party like that. That's the first story. So that was really creepy. We told my mom, you know, she gets scared easily, so she's like, oh my god, you think there's something in the house? You know, the usual Hispanic response. Alright, so we just have to go upstairs and change the batteries because our battery died rather quickly. I was kind of scared going upstairs right now, I don't know why. But anyways, this is the next story. So this was spring semester last year. So right now it's spring semester 2018. So spring semester
2017.
2017. So I come home and I walk in, you know, I put my bag down. I'm hungry, so I go straight to the kitchen. Hey, yo, mommy. My mom's name. I'm like, mommy. And she responds.
Mommy is mom in Spanish, by the way, not your mom's name.
Oh yeah, it's not my mom's name. That's what I call her. So I yell, mommy. She responds.
Meanwhile, her room was over there.
To the left. And then I come in here, you know, I'm looking for food and I find no food. So then I yell my mom's name again, except this time I get no response. And it comes to turn out I walk over to her room, right? I'm walking, I'm like, really? She just yelled my name back. Like, why is she ignoring me now? You know, I'm starving, I come home from school, so I'm hungry, you know? I'm hoping she cooked. This was her room at the time. I walk in, and she's not home. So at that point, I was like, what the hell? So at that point, I didn't even eat. My hunger went away. I was like, that was so creepy. Like, I come home, I yell her name, she says it back. I yell her name again, she doesn't respond. So then I go to check if she's there, and she wasn't even home. So then I call her, I'm like, were you just home? Did you just leave? And she's like, no, I haven't been home since morning. And at that point, I was like, oh, hell no. So I went straight into my room.
And nobody was home.
And nobody was home at the time. Like, no, absolutely nobody. It was just me and my mom. My sister moved out by that time already. And that was very, very creepy. But now since we're talking about hearing voices, so that was about a year ago. This was about a month ago. So it's like 5 something, nobody's home, my mom's been out all day. I'm upstairs in my room and I have both my doors open. So my room is behind this door and then straight ahead behind another door. And I'm upstairs, and then the only reason I know this wasn't in my head was because Simba heard it too, which is my dog. And we were upstairs and Marcella was supposed to come over, and it was like 5 something, but it was 5:50, she got out at 6. I'm like, no way, it's too early for her to be here. I hear someone walk in, right? Open the door, you hear that sound. Once you hear that sound, they start talking like they're on the phone. So then like, I was on my phone, so I stayed quiet, and both my doors were open so I could hear it clearly. So I'm just like this. And then you see Simba get up, and then he's just staring. He just stares at the stairs. He just stares at the doorway, like looking down. He just stares, and you see his hair stand up. Oh, I just got goosebumps.
Because his hairs usually stick up.
Usually, like if he doesn't know someone, like his hair stand up. So at that point, like I'm not even like closing my doors. Like I run downstairs to check who it is. Then I come downstairs and I look outside. Her car's not here. I walk into my mom's room. I check every room here. Nobody's here. Like I clearly heard someone walk in. I call my mom. I'm like, did you just get home? She's like, no, I'm not home. And like 5 minutes later, she shows up. So I know it wasn't her, even though it sounded like her. So it was a female voice. That's all I know. It was especially creepy because Simba's hair stand up. And for those of you who don't know, a lot of people say that dogs can detect presences, whether it's demons or ghosts or anything, and they can see what you can't see, basically. Alright, so one of the reasons why we believe if there's something in our house, we believe that it's a female, because it's, I wouldn't say very protective of us. It's hard to explain, but every time someone in this house has heard a voice, it's always been a female. The 2 stories I just told you guys, it was a female voice and a female voice. So both female voices, never heard a male voice. So this was about a year ago as well. I went to Honduras. This story I can't confirm, but my friend isn't much of a believer. So coming from him, I have no choice but to believe him, especially in my house. So at that time, my whole family was in Honduras. We went on vacation to visit my dad. He came to the house because we needed a favor. We needed him to pick something up in the room we just showed you guys. Here, I'll show you guys exactly what happened. According to him, he walks in the house. He gets no subtle feelings, but this is what happens. So I have the prop right here. This is the main concept of the story I'm going to tell you. He walks in, whatever paper he needs to get are in here. And this is my grandma and my grandpa. My grandma passed away a couple years ago. So she had already passed away when he came over. And this picture was up there. And he says he walked in, and all that he felt was like a sudden rumble in this room. As soon as he walked in and like went for the paper, and this picture just flew, and it flew right in front of him on the bed. The bed was right here, and it literally just laid here. So at that point, he was very creeped out. He grabbed the paper, he immediately left. We told my mom that story, and she was very creeped out. She really had no explanation for it. She thought maybe it was my grandmother trying to like show that she's around or something along those lines, but that story we're not too sure about what really happened. But that's to go on that's in a way why we think it's a female, because it's like very protective of our home. He was a male in our home without nobody home, and he doesn't live here, so you know, he walks in there and then it automatically tries to scare him out, which it did, you know, and then he ended up leaving. Alright guys, so this is the last story I'm going to tell you guys in this video. If you guys have enjoyed this video so far, make sure to comment down below and tell me you've enjoyed these stories. I promise you all these stories are 100% real. I don't joke around with these kind of things. I take these things very seriously. So this story is easily one of the creepiest, and this is why the title says "A Ghost Touched Me." What was that?
No.
Was that him?
I think so.
Okay, it was a peak. Simba, don't do that. You scared me. Not a good time, bro. Not a good time. So this was my room at the time for this story, right? I even get goosebumps telling this story. I hate this story. So I go to sleep, and when I sleep, I like to sleep. I sleep in the middle of my bed like a dead person. I'm afraid of the dark. I hate the dark. I'm gonna be honest. I can't have a big open space and look at it. I have to look away from it. So I'm sleeping like this, right in the middle of my bed. I have covers right here. That way, this bed is a lot closer to the wall. So of course I put the covers over me. That way I don't have to look here. And then I wake up at exactly 3 in the morning. Those of you who don't know, but I'm pretty sure most of you won't know. 3 a.m. is supposedly the devil's hour. It's supposedly when all the demons, ghosts, whatever it is, come out, and it's like when all paranormal activity happens. I wake up at 3 in the morning. I don't remember if I checked my phone or what, but I just knew it was 3 in the morning. And I'm covering my face. So I'm not looking at this part of the room. You see that? The doorway's over there. I'm not looking at any of that. I'm sleeping. And then I hear the front door open. And from here, you can clearly, the front door is behind this wall right here. You can clearly hear it open. So it opens, and at that point, I'm like, it's Marcella. I'm like, she's coming over. I clearly hear the footsteps coming. You hear them coming, they come down the hallway, coming down. And then as soon as I hear my door's about to open, so at this point, I'm like, it's 3 in the morning. Marcella would never come over at this time. Her parents wouldn't let her come over at this time, and she doesn't have the balls to sneak out. So at this point, the door opens. I'm freaking out. I don't even look. I close my eyes. I put the covers over me. And no lie, guys, this is exactly what happened. I'm laying here. Covers are covering right here. And all of a sudden, the door's open. And the person is standing right here. Oh, I just got goosebumps. They're standing literally right here. I feel them, and I see them in the corner of my eye. But I can't tell you who it was or what it was. And literally, all it does, leans over, gives me a kiss on the cheek. Like, no lie. 0.5 seconds later, door closes. And that's it. And then, at that point, I am freaking out. I pray until I fall asleep. I wake up, and I literally sit at the edge of my bed, and I'm like, did that really happen last night? And it was easily the creepiest moment of my life, just for the fact that that was maybe the second occasion, or third occasion, that I've ever gotten touched physically by a ghost or whatever it is. But along with that story, a couple months later, I finally got Simba. I've had him for about a year now. I've had him for about a year and 2 months. He sleeps on the bed with me. I'm talking about 1 in the morning. He's knocked out. I'm going to sleep. I lay here. He's laying on my left side. He gets up. Like, randomly out of nowhere, he gets up. His ears are all over here. All his hairs are standing. And he sits right here at the edge of the bed. And he just starts growling at the mirror. Like, no lie, he just starts growling. And I'm trying to, like, calm him down. I'm like, Simba, relax. You know, obviously, like, at this point, I'm not even, like annoyed at him. Like, as soon as he did it, I was like, I know what's going on, you know? Like, he sees something or someone's in the room with us. Door was closed, obviously. And then he literally, till, like, 3 in the morning, he was awake. Just sitting here staring at it, almost like he was protecting me or something. And, like, every now and then, he would just growl. And then finally, like, at 4 in the morning, he finally fell asleep. I couldn't go to sleep just for the fact that he was here. And he was just staring over there. He was just staring at that corner. I don't know what he was staring at, because I looked. I even turned my flashlight on to see what he was seeing. The thing is, like, I would pull him back by his collar and throw him over here. And then he would jump right back here. Just like that. That I ended up praying until I fell asleep as well. But he stayed up all night watching that corner. I have no idea what he saw. I wish I could ask him what he saw.
So guys, we were just about to finish up the video, and we were about to make a thumbnail, and then Jose just sits on the bed, and wow. I see something from the corner of my eye. I thought like something fell from the ceiling.
This randomly started dripping.
Well, randomly, like, never happened before, right? I don't think. Started dripping water.
Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed that video, make sure to
give it a thumbs up and subscribe and leave a comment down below.
And last but not least, turn on post notifications so you can get notified when we post. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to tell me that you enjoyed this video, and I'll make a part 2, which will include my sleep paralysis and many other ghost stories that have happened in my previous house. Well, a house that we rented. I would say just as creepy stories. There's a couple more stories from this house as well, but we could also do those in the next video. I didn't want to make this video a drag. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and we'll see you in the next one.
Bye.
See ya.